Nia Ghana this year, Mamma Jomo Makwaba, Ediba, Owia, television, Brasson, say, you know, Siaka Siabono, some who do, editing, edition, my mo, and some trophy coaching a pair. I'm your son for so, at the Asuma, and you're so more. Say, you know, Siaka Siabo, and precise 105.9 FM. So, Okwa Befuntit and video, so www.owiatvonline.com. Benyam say, we no kind now, one so working kind a day a free YouTube. Owia TV official TikTok and X the Facebook nina and so Owia TV ukoha Owia Kaseɛ be now was wash a day everyone somewhere the best someone you run a door so not possible be and say Owia Kaseɛ Zimbabwe Emma Penny our my Ghana mu wobedi nansa Ashama yonko fada Ghana ne Zimbabwe mino yashemu ekene na dwumade bia kwaso a wono so akasa no mampanyi edi nkomo ahwekwan ya man mienu beka bom efiri dwuma fam adwade fam ene afa nyina mahoden semo aboa ama man mienu enso 2 sanso na mampanyi o Zimbabwe enso esanso akyerese Ghana ne Zimbabwe wo se yehwe na ebasika samontoto ya man mienu yentam no ekoyie pa na aboa ama afa bibrema adwaman ahodo ni nyina so no Ghana and Zimbabwe yenso yekoso bia yenso yenya enepa ede aboa je mino everyone na yakọ ensamfufro yakọ ensamfufro mu dia Association of Ghana Industries wamonso ka kira ban sa ban hye na one Ghana city fuel levy no a erida fango so mo koto aleta bia so no abane hye na wonyi emfafuo na akwamu aifo adrafo wo mo so ho henhan omo yefro so a ye be companyfo a wo mo eda Association of Ghana Industries ano omo so ka kire ECG so omo hye na nwumaku awodo bia omo di sola ye adwuma no omo nane ani no omo sanso enyusu mita na moa emo man no yenso yenya emfaso enim se Burkina Faso oban no e de ababa tudwa saso no ode to so sa oman bia enkofa ntosi efiri omo ekrom omo fa bi efiri onko oman bia so no se omo chese tabono no mamma so a ye ka sei aso ye hwe adwade ni firi dwuma wonsam so ababonten abechese sa asemi yasam da oman yi nyina ewo se yebusa nwumre isem wei ene afoforo nka ye bi edi tie di hwe ene aboabo no erebe somo se Owia television ye nwumre no sia Kaseɛ bo dwabe rural bank womo ene bank ya do hobo wo mbeboa wo ama osika samuntutu ye nyina akoyo mbema loan no si hu da ho ne kakra bi afeso nya kofa na bra kofa nkrata we bra there be 24 hours ntemu pe na wonsa aka besia no dwabe rural bank akwanya wo ho ma so do hobo mo a omo beboa na won so wadi adodede a ewo omo adwumani omo ne ya Bolivia Enterprise omo ene the future life smart food enuane pa no enso aba adwama so nyumako we ena aso yase na nwumre mi de no si Akaseɛ boy bra wo mi de de adwoa nyako abro my dan ho abaye ba ye de nsem no enchiremu ebebro Kruntumu aina ensamru nchiremu no yemfa ensom yetiefo ene yahwefo pa yehase a na yehase Africa na mapa His Excellency John Dramani Mahama na kache na yekasa ye a woni sembi atodwa we no aye bra na Zimbabwe mampanyi yekasa wo Ghana wo ba bedi nansa we no ba besra ye na afen komodi ahodo akoso bebo ama man yemienu asumdwa atena yentem na yonkofa wo yentem no wo mo ahyemu kina hwe aboa ama ne ma wodo bia bebo ama ni mienu bia omo de ho hye ye gwakwamu ama no atumi aboa na enne enkomodie bia koso awa mampanyi ene Zimbabwe mampanyi President Emerson Mnangagwa wono one mampanyi entemu a enkomodie nim no ehona mampanyi ede atodwa se ne de aban no eya ene so amode hye ahodo ebegu akwamu agya aman mienu ayonkofa papa a emu fie ebetena yentemu na afa atumi aboa ama yeka adwade ho nsem a Ghana ene Zimbabwe ebibrem ha se de ya so yebekọ ani manya no nko a ahoneni ho ensem so okomo no koso se de be ya no so beboa ma de makoye na afa so eba emfuo ene amoaye ho ensem so agriculture ho ensem so a eno so omotena se edi ho nkomo amampanyi echese se de ekọ die aman mienu yebenya ka so demu ebeboa ama ebibrem ma continental free trade area no omo so baboa no omo fam de bia omo aye na aboa ma man mienu Ghana and Zimbabwe yeso yakoye nim Ghana mampani His Excellency John.
It cannot be the hub to aviation when our domestic aviation is not functional. We only have Accra Airport, Kumasi, Tamale, Wa and Sunyani. The runways are too short, and so jet engines or planes cannot fly to those areas. For instance, the Sunyani Airport runs only 1.4 kilometers.
Mampani His Excellency John Dramani Mahama ne nsam no e na mede mo nkyeremo e ma wo no ene no enkomode ne koso e wo Ghana ene afe Zimbabwe e mampani entemo betrase akodidi nkoma ne nyina e kwan aman mienu ibefa so na wo mo akabo mo adi dwuma bobo na boa amoman ne chichire nyina enso akoso na dwuma de ne mu so e na president awono e wo Zimbabwe Emerson Mnangagwa wono so ade atudwa se bredre de e wo sa yonkofo no eda Ghana ne Zimbabwe tem no ebanyifo ehwe na aman mienu nyina akwanya bia wo mobenya e wo African Continental Free Trade Area ne mo no wo mo enfomfa ne moa na enyini emra aman emienu wo chese sa aman wei ekabo mu Ghana ene Zimbabwe ekabo mu a ye betumi aboa ama ye hwese de etufo magudi a aman mienu betumi adika so de maboa agbekocha ho sam so ye betumi aboa na afi adwade ho sam so yetumi aboa no wi ye no san so ada asesa man Ghana de bia ye tai Zimbabwe man no achi na for mani so de hunu so edu o machi ayeboa ema o monso ensa eka Zimbabwe man panyini Emerson Mnangagwa
in key areas including energy, mining, agriculture, tourism, higher education, trade and cultural exchange. While we have witnessed the signing of several instruments of cooperation, the true value of these agreements lies in their swift and effective implementation. I therefore urge your ministers and officials operationalization of all agreed programs and the conclusion of the requisite agreements in additional areas of cooperation. The Joint Permanent Commission on Cooperation must remain the central mechanism for the monitoring and implementation of our agreements, as well as increase the trade and investments for the tangible benefits of our peoples. This immense undertaking also requires stronger private sector collaboration between our two countries. The enduring spirit of African unity and the shared commitment to sovereignty and justice. By the same token, I wish to thank you.
Zimbabwe mampanyini Emerson Mnangagwa ene etinike na mampanyin samodi tudwa no eno so enkotie.
We're therefore greatly encouraged by our renewed resolve to elevate the partnership between our two countries to a higher and more strategic level. Earlier today, during our bilateral discussions, our two delegations held comprehensive, forward-looking and highly productive talks aimed at deepening cooperation across a broad range of priority sectors. These include political and diplomatic consultations, energy, tourism, health, trade and investment, defense and security, education, agriculture, mining, media, labor, sports and recreation, heritage collaboration, archives, and waste management.
Ghana mampanyi His Excellency John Dramani Mahama Nkrokramo and Zimbabwe mampanyi Emerson Mnangagwa esanso editu dwa enim se beyese enfishia edruonu ne 20 years and Zimbabwe mine wo mo so tabuno hodo bi wo ha abrochire mrofo ade atoto omo so omo nya kwanya ewo niema bi ho titiru ene aman bi wo ho mpo omo makwan ma Zimbabwe adehye entu kwan ma ho enye no nko akwanya hodo bi ho so a wo mo so ya no omo nya mu chefa bi ni nyina wo mo kane mampanyi Robert Mugabe na mpanyifo yi kire se kwan ofa so a na wo ye ne niema otiatie nipa fa hodie so afa so abato omo niema hodo bi ho a anko ye wo mo no enam so manfisha be se aduanu ne die Zimbabwe man no eba ewiase afa na mu die ya no omo bre pa na no na mampanyi kasati aye no wie ye no san so bo Ghana ba so man Ghana de kukuru wiase we ya Zimbabwe man no efa mu nyina achie no Ghana de bia eya na yeta o machie no so enti no
telling our own stories as Africans through our own lenses and narratives must continue to be emphasized. Your Excellency and brother, guided by our foreign policy thrust that Zimbabwe is a friend to all and an enemy to none, our country is bidding for a non-permanent seat on the United Nations Security Council for the 2027 to 2028 term. We thank Ghana for your continued support as we prepare to contribute to global peace and security. Allow me, my dear brother, to also express Zimbabwe's deep gratitude to Ghana for your steadfast support in calling for the unconditional removal of the unjust, illegal, unilateral sanctions imposed on us by some stupid Western countries for more than 2.5 decades. Despite the albatross of these illegal and inhuman sanctions, Zimbabwe remains resilient, scoring unprecedented development and economic milestones across all sectors.
Zimbabwe mampanyin Emerson Mnangagwa ene atute ne kasa mu stupid nyina ba mu ne se ne abre kire sa aman ahodo bi wo ho a jo mo de so ahodo bi atoto Zimbabwe so amomo bre ne so ne nyina mu no omo so ayro mo ho mafam dia bia omo yese Zimbabwe man no ebe konke omo san so da man Ghana se Ghana ne nyina mu no ye ta o machi no mani so ade hunu papa ekura omo no oman yi yenso ye bua omo ye fi san semnem na ye mesen enko Association of Ghana Industries omo so abeka kire mampanyini ene na ban nyina se ne mu ya won hye na sa one Ghana cedi fuel levy no obi abukoto fa nwa later ba ku bia one cedi to no eda so no omo ka kire aban se aban ne hwe na wonyi fro fi se fa nwo bo no ayade pa hwe yi a omo do omo ni hwe yi omo danim ede amayetimamufo ne okoto ade a ubehuni atum office fa nwo no eno ne center ede me economy no aba bia obefa bia yetumi nyi fa nwo ho sem no efiri mo so maka omo ka kire aban se aban ne hwe na one cedi levy no onyi fro se de be omo so je omo adwuma mo ye no operation cost no be kofom no man kwa koche anfangu Ghana for so mo de sanse mo etudwa abra na omo ne domkuma wo mra shebwe fie ekohia ye ho na president edema Association of Ghana Industries Rakofi ensia poku ejian kwofo no na mu edesem say eto Owia Kaseɛ bo enim.
The fuel price has gone up for more than 30%. Diesel is about over 16 now, 16, 17. So it is important that at this point we start talking about removal of the one cedi to bring our cost of operations down. At that point, we could absorb because we had to balance it with the appreciation of the cedi. But if nothing is done about it now, then we will also begin to look at our operational costs to start increasing prices, which we do not want to touch. We do not want a situation where the impact of the cedi will not be balanced by fuel prices. And then
Opanya yetidini wano ena president edema Association of Ghana Industries. Wade Rakofi insia pokuno wiye ena swafo deputy minority leader necheso no ena ye domkuma enoba no deni abedi etire mame Patricia Apiejei enso editu jasa domkuma ne de omabo ho paaja omatwetwe de agu ho ehye nhye ahodo mo de begu akọ mo beboa ama Association of Ghana Industries omo so dwumadi omo ye no omo ho ahehan
recommendation that we need to take on board. What we are going to follow this particular engagement with is to come up with a working group. And that working group will be working outside the camera, where we can have a very effective engagement and come up with solutions to the numerous programs and problems that we have identified over here. So we are not here just to listen and go back. We will cast our mind back to the 1990s during the time of our leader, the minority leader, J.H. Mensah, where he had such engagement with the various institutions and various bodies. And I can tell you for a fact that a lot came out where it became necessary for us to, and everybody in Ghana, identify NPP as being ready to govern. And that is exactly the part we want to chart.
Honorable Patricia Appiaje Wano and a deputy minority leader. And one also this answer way to Jaw Sansam Cronwell and Ayera Kofi in Siapoku or no our president at the Association of Ghana Industries or most of the CB at the Ghana Hode Ejumakono Electricity Company of Ghana says no Brenoir. Wamu di sola no and Yamahodi no which if you are no and a year Juma. Wamu catch the ECG Sabaya ECG sham na reverse mitre no Musha no Musia. Then wamu change Namahodi na dos Majumakono Muyuswa de Becano. Now come more than each day ama ECG na ECG so de guam wamu here no maje and then you be a reversion baby and will be a calculating dear no mahu baby could do say we are saying my draw no wamu HSL draw na Esuya Sadia we are a boapa. It's a more catch ECG for so musu shebi na wamunye na fe and Yamahode ho how no and also eto encha Yera Kofi in Sia.
This has been going on for a very long time, and ECG doesn't seem to have a solution, or they don't seem to be interested in. We are promoting solar, and when people have excess energy and they want to give back to ECG, they don't seem to have any solution. So we would like you to take it up. In most countries, they all use reverse meters. I don't understand why Ghana is adamant to the use of reverse meters. Because if I have excess, I give to ECG. If I'm in need, I take from ECG. Then at the end of the month, a balance is struck, and then I pay my bill. Why is it that the government is promoting solar, but is not prepared to take back what the industry can give back to ECG to even support in their operations, so that if they have excess, they can export to earn more money for Ghana?
Ora Kofi Insia Pokuono and a president at the Association of Ghana Industries. Yedim sa Burkina Faso minor at the son eto so mama kwan emo my beer and for tomato soup and from my anymore and call or more and my son. I'm so in so my Ghana de Jaya de tomato no. How about prepare said your crone Burkina and I call a coffee free do brebia. I don't am so I'm on penny for can be a woman and if a penny for share any for the mountain some so any penny for can be a woman I won't toss fano Elko Burkina my name and then Burkina buy no could deal come more and when you see any course on my yaka say there's some day free mobile here and it's a Burkina buy not tiasia. So no the two so more my beer. Ebe fantosi every Burkina no wapeja atise se no dwuma no ebe san every ho akoso na nam so amaso afo hwedwede ene fidwuma won sem so ma me Elizabeth Ofosu ajare ede abeto jasa samwei asempa ebe boa ma Ghana yen ntosu kom ene ye intino.
It's relieving because it is right learning that Ghana does not produce tomato all year round, and so at the time we don't have fresh tomato in Ghana, we rely on what to make up for the difference. And so when the ban came, all of a sudden, it came as a surprise to Ghana, and it was going to be very inconvenient because we've been trading with Burkina Faso for a long time. They also rely on us for certain things. And so what we did was to calm the nerves. On the sidelines of WTO, my team and I engaged our counterparts, and they agreed that they will work on it as soon as possible so that we could.
I was share a jedie apedie ni afefiri djuma ho ensamso mame Elizabeth Ofosu ejare enwo no so yeteni kana asemi nam so ema Owia Kaseɛ bo yeni Owura Kofi Adomako Mensa won na ye chairman the Tomato Cargo and Importers Association of Ghana komo amana boyemu eniema hodo amufamuo omuko meeting eniema hodo ekonam so enam so a ye Kaseɛ Burkina ban no achese sa so no a wode to tomatoes obi kwa fafiri omo man mu no wapeja no so sei eno de to ye nim
obia de na no atu asem no mu bi enti enra enaja omo se chichiaye na enya asem ketwa enaja omo sese de dro no asan se adwuma no ne ye no nipa bebre hu ne wo mu obi de tika wura mu ye kura ye ton kura bi so diska bo akuafo no num ne ade enti na nchirichiri mu koye na kire se ene ma tasumu de mum na ba no ese ono so behia tomatoes no we bu fe de akoye se yebetobi omo so betobi
okay
omo nemu ya nti se sa na akosie enjisa so no na ayayem hihie esan se na soja ban
okay
ana se de osika no so no na edin se wobakọ nanim etina tembia na akoye se this is so ya honsa na etumia ayese group na etumi oba de ho nkomo enti group no so ye ona omubia omo ene omo nso edi sika hye adwuma nimu ti na o se obia so ahoba eba asem no mu bie enti ewom o se na deadline ye 31st enti na kesi egusu eka enti ye ho aheda nkyire bebresa na kese pa ya ba ne se enso no na se onye hu bi ma ne se enra no de yankopo adom so o ye beka sa bro yi poma kwama o se ye nto asu na emom no ye ntumi nya no dodo to se de kana ne fa no oh se se de me no kase kura ye hu meeting
okay
ye hwe kwan e be fa so ene de be ya ensa nkofa bufuo ma ene esan se eye niema bebre se enche na Boko Haram for to share so that we so asa count. Enti niema o se de gugu kwam no edoso. Enti madawro ma de be ku bia so ye be mama so ate.
Owura Kofi Adomako Mensa wano na ye chairman Edema Tomato Cargo and Importers Association of Ghana eno no so de chechemu ahodo no asom yen ene ahwefo panyina Ghana Private Road Transport Union GPLTU ene afi adrafo enkomomuko ahodo no enra eno mo so eba bonti omo beka se de ne meye wo fango fani mu ese fango bo no hwire a ena ehwiri koso enam Iran Israel ene afi US yamanyen entokwa no ekoso ewo mu ntam no nti saban na hye ne ne wa fan hye pa enwu akwamuo na to ahodo bu ho ededa fango so wanyi afiri wa fa ma adrafo a ene o man nyina yen hye ne mu so mbeto asentuade buo mu omo ebupan aduo no 20% ene susu ya wo so ede ebaye yakasai wasofo wo no hye Kobedie ho ensam so ede ababeto dwasa wo sre adoafo so omunya botre na ene enkomodi ahodo enkoso omo ne aban ne gusu a edi nkomo se beyeye mpo a na ene sa wanga na sidifu wele vinu a ewo ho no aban na twem se be adoafo enso ho ebe to wo mu na sa 20% ntumu no a wo de ba asentuade keska buo mu no ade e wo soro omo beto mu mpa akwo mu ntum na ene omo nya ne be 10% ho mo bupan edu enfa emate mfoko pem se enkasasie no akoso nyina eto betwa na afia ban no ehokwan pa wo de fango ho sam no enso ebe faso na oswafo no a wo hye eye akobedie ho ensam so no sei ena wo de eto Owia Kaseɛ bo ene
on behalf of the the government, say a big thank you to all the transport unions. I am sure a lot of Ghanaians will be waiting to hear from them. Over 3 weeks today, myself, I've been engaging them. Myself and the finance minister will be engaging them, and we are all in a state of engagement. We will soon come out with our final decisions to the general public. I wouldn't want to make anything known to the public that is not yet finalized with my transport unions. And you know, we work together, and I must thank them for their cooperation so far. And I believe that at the end of the day, we'll come out with a win-win situation for us and then the transport unions and all the drivers that we have. Either through this situation that we find ourselves in, you realize that all the fuel prices were going downwards. But what is happening in Iran from America and Israel is creating these issues for us. But the unions are cooperating, we are working together, and we will come out soon with our final decisions.
So Honorable Joseph Bukari ni kweni etene kano ojasa drafo ni nyabotre enkodu binadano na enkonywesi ahodo ni nyina abawie na afesu gina papa aban no besi ebebo amafanwo ho nsem na drafo ko mwan ha wo mo no eno so nsem wode ababatu gya no so afo ekoso kasa ye de aban ni susu ye bia wode ba ye amampanyimpo de betu gya ewo State of the Nation address no a afidie no wode ebetu gya amampanyika se ye hwe ne mo se oman no ye beye 3 regional airports amanta miensa ene ese no aban no eba be ye wo mo wiem hyengyina bia no obeye ne ye ede ama wo mo na asonwa ka ho waka ho ena afebo gatanga enso eka na osofo ikoso akire mu se dwumade we nyina ye nhwe ne mu se 2026 afia ewo mu yi ebu ne mu mienu ana se fifi wo ba be jun ekono eho ena dwumade no enso ebe free ase no kire mu se Bogatanga Traditional Council de omokra de omaka kire aban ne se ometwa asasetam ato free ede amo man no adwuso ayeso kama omo ho omo wa tweyem se project na ban ni free ase so wo ya ode asase na omo na wo mo de aye afesu ensu atere so ehon so mapaji kire se airport no wo ho no wo metirem ede amatemamufo a wo mo so ewo matam wo wei any project ahodo bi Accra International Airport nso terminal 2 wo no so fondi to dwa se wo so sesi ahodo bi bekoso ho a ebeboa amafia kobedi ho nsem enso akojo ede ama Ghana for Honorable Joseph Bukari.
It cannot be the hub to aviation when our domestic aviation is not functional. We only have Accra Airport, Kumasi, Tamale, Wa and Sunyani. The runways are too short, and so jet engines or planes cannot fly to those areas. For instance, the Sunyani Airport runs only 1.4 kilometers, which will not allow any jet engine to land there. And so we are proposing to build a new airport in Sunyani, which will now have a runway of about 2.5 kilometers that will accept both propeller engine aircraft and then the jet engines. Wa is the same way. We have to look at the Wa airport and build a new Wa airport to be able to serve the northern part of Ghana. The same way in the Upper East, Bogatanga, we are looking at how to serve our landlocked countries, Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger. They will all want to do business with us because they rely on our ports for all their imports and exports. And so most of them want to travel by air. So we are looking at building a new airport in Bogatanga as well. So 3 brand new airports will be built based on these levies we are going to collect. Again, we do not have what we call aprons where you park the aircrafts. The Terminal 2 is going to be remodeled into an international and domestic terminal. We need to have aprons there for planes to be able to park and then pick passengers. And again, the runway, we are already doing some extension on the runway. However, the Accra airport that I'm talking of, it needs to be financed and finished or completed quickly. That runway has not seen any rehabilitation for years today. And looking at the increased number of passengers, we need to update our facilities. We know it is not easy to accept taxes, but as a country that wants to create employment for our youth, as a country that wants to be the gateway to West Africa and Africa, we need to take certain drastic decisions to raise enough revenue.
Joseph Bukari ni kwaye ya mananso ho a wo kire mu sese nhye for kra aban no ede abade friend say airport infrastructure development charge ya na obi atukwan firi ewiase afa na baabia no bepie mu oman mu dia onya fa wiamhye ho de na obetua $100 na ne wonso ye Ghana ni na ne ye heye na akwa dia enso 100 Ghana cedis na watua o kire se we no aye kwan aban ne fa so ede abobo ska no na wiamhyen ejina bia hodo ni nyina omonso atumi ede abomo ho.
And all over the South region, our airports are in very deplorable states. Let me tell you that from 2012, Ghana Airport Company did not make any comprehensive levies or charges to upgrade our airports. Our sewage treatment plant is 25 years old, almost full to the capacity. If we do not do something about that sewage treatment plant, one day we will see a reversal of whatever waste we put inside. And as a country that wants to be the hub to aviation, we need to address it. Every day when you pass at the airport peak hours, sometimes I go there to help in the management of traffic. Our car park is too small to the point that the cars overflow to the streets and create a lot of traffic congestion. We need a new car park in the airport. Other airports, you have short stay, assuming you have a connecting flight that will take you 3-4 hours and you needed some rest. There should be some hotel facilities. So the car park will come with the hotel facilities attached to it so that it will create some comfort for our travelers. Now, the biggest one is the connecting concourse between Terminal 2 and Terminal 3. We all agree that Terminal 2 lies idle and not being used. So, Excellency, the President said, look, we have to be innovative and then get that Terminal 2 functional. So we agreed and started to rehabilitate, to remodel Terminal 2 to be able to serve both international and domestic. Now, passengers, if they are going to travel international, meaning that they have to get out either from Terminal 3, out of the airport and come in, or they have to use bus to carry or convey passengers to the Terminal 2, which doesn't fit in the design. So we are building a connecting concourse that will have other facilities like lounges and all those things too.
Also, for share akobedi on Samso Honorable Joseph Bukari Nikpe. It also akoswa for no share akwan any akwantipo on Samso Honorable Governors Kwame Agboza. Now one also any na mawoye inspection hodro ewo aban big push project no a ewo de ama contractors hodro no omo ya kwan Ghana for nyina no. Na ne ko pie mo ewo tema runabout ekwan no a ekọ Central University kwan road project no wakoya contractor no up and down kwa wama adwuma odidi nkomo potem ho tietie no anaja se contractor no okura contract no yes okọ holiday nyane okọ break nyane dada wama emeto adwuma no so eno no so afọ no ka se animanimu ya contractor no samra na wama ya kwan informative amufu omo office omo huna mane ena afi so aban na frese o twetua eka bia edema contractor se yeden na nkwan de wakọ commercial break ya dada wo ma ye kwan no emfa enso madeshe to say well, catch a contractor and said, Manuya, one brand on by a quino, and from a dish or more Ewasa and Potemo, Honorable Governors Kwame Agboza.
We must say that it is extremely frustrating on your lot because I wasn't even expecting you to say you are breaking for Easter, knowing what the public is going through here. Easter is just a weekend. Knowing that you have been off-site for a long period of time, I thought you should just sacrifice and mobilize to site. If you want us here the whole of the period, highways will be here. Even on Easter Day, if you want us to be here to help you. So I'm not even sure why you even need to break for Easter, since you have been on break almost perpetually. So what are you breaking for? So it is not very, very good. And I don't do this because of a personal thing, because it's too difficult to persuade you to understand the public, what the public is going through. Yes, we paid your bill. We've paid your bill. If it's about money, we paid the bill. So start working. Don't say that in your contract you say you use 1 month to remobilize, but the public can't take this. So I think that you should reconsider saying that you remobilize after Easter, because especially within your lot, it is difficult to see anything that you are doing. Absolutely. I can't even see one track with the inscription of BHM on it. So I keep asking myself, what is going on here? I can't see any equipment here that you've been paid for at least a week. Nothing, absolutely nothing going on here. This is unacceptable. This is not what we signed up for. You know, absolutely. Everybody can see. Anybody, the media is with that. You can't even see one track here with BHM or one excavator with BHM on it.
So far, we shall quite near quantum pound some honorable governors Kwame Agboza every morning. Na ya mese enko umasia ho ensem so for no yera Haruna Idris no de ababa tudwa se adesuafo bokotena ase kwatro BC so hwe no ene ese no so hwe no susan so de ba na wotwente pepepe eno na abehwe so ede ayisuku so a wa hwe results no ho a cut your coat according to your size so hwe results no a we ye no a na wotwente no so wakwanya se ubeyi suku a wo bekọ se we ni enhye foforo kra ban ne de abeba ama suku ho nsem enso akonkan yenti.
Significant improvement to the process, and Director General GES, you are accordingly directed, is that students are to begin the process of making a determination of school choice, but that process is not to be completed until the results are finally announced and determined. So in the past, you had a situation where students determine and choose schools without knowing their aggregate level, and that affected the placement system. This time, we will give a mandatory period of 1 week after the results have been declared for students to confirm on the basis of their performance in the BECA what their first choices are. Government also recognizes that alumni play a significant role today in the survival and transformation of many of our schools across the country. Accordingly, a dedicated percentage will be given to alumni for purpose of placement in the revised CSP program. I pray that this will not be abused, just like the protocol is often abused. I'm aware that last year we got protocol requests as much as 60,000. Anybody in my shoes will struggle to honor those requests. Let me also say that there will be a supervising committee of a technical working committee that will supervise the work of the CSPS system, and then the restoration of a displacement algorithm to ensure fairness and placement of candidates who with their preferred school choices.
Idrisu and also yet take a semi-unti a quamane so na yane ora Ralph Kofi Gapson wano and a general secretary and the National Council of Parent Teachers Association here na kudin komo na ebusa ne sakoba ne say no wenu ya asem de baba bo awofo na se na ke hwe ti ebenya ora Kofi Gapson wa homa ne so ne no akodi sa komo wo maye enoti ye hwe ne mu yenya no a ye ne no ebegbo enkomo yenya ni de Entempire National Association of Sachets and Packaged Water Producers almost at the abetu say dear eja ensuo no ayeto no for de no ayemi afe no sachet water no se so omba be page abonem efri se omo dakade no omo de etwa ensuo no rubber no omo de guo mo ni nyina omo kra e de fra ahodo so na de ba Iran and Israel and afe US ntokwa no afore bi amenam so amomo kire se ensuo de bo no se wo mo ba batumu se de be omo so dwumade no omo die no omo betumi e de sa dwuma no na National Director for Corporate Affairs at the National Association of Sachets and Packaged Water Producers Owia Kwame Japan intra intino.
Okay. we are saying in Saint Okobia sorry, in our Middle East, US and Israel and Afi only Iran. Now I call for it Kuwait ne United Arab Emirates and Omomudi oil ho dwanyina ama oil ho asem no ayeka kwatwe nti yenso yedwa yedie no rubber no yedie nsuo no nyina petrol chese oil petrol mu na yenye free nti omu a ye tofiro mu no mo so kra ta enyema mu de rubber no e free ta Arab countries no ho baby a ye oil ho ayi no mo kra free na sei no omunya ta akande no a omude eye rubber no because oil no ho ayede nti amma omu companies no omu supply ye nkofo no mo edi rubber na emaye omu bibiri declare the bruni friend force majeure no kire say me ne wo contract say me 7 ton enyema ma wo but bibiesi ada se bia asase wo so anase kun biesi ama nti mintimi enso
Owura Kwame Japan Trawono NIA National Director for Corporate Affairs Edema National Association of Sachet and Packaged Water Producers. Yakwa mane so na ye ni Owura Raf Kofi Caps ne kodi kobo emfa hye no as say enwumasua so ende abase adisua for nkochiro BC no results ni bewia ansa na watching temomo akwakoye school selection no Owura Gaps no Owia TV so ni o yamajo da ase
ajo be ma se e chamo tifo ni
oho ye de
Yami adune mpaiwo. Dere na ma so de ba.
Yeah, yami ase. Minim se agubasua so ya ne hye no ode aba no mo so wakoya awofo agina fo mo so mo sa ka bi asem ya ba ye mu ne sei.
Odi bi ka da wa se na ma pata kwan so. E o Easter model. De ma awofo na happy ane bon pa se. E fo so bi aye no. Ami fa won in China o the stress of the company shop so they might very well more. Now, the national course I prefer. In some way, if I buy home to Minister of Education, they will tell you simple. Because you call from the first year, you to say, and say, but I know you woman, you never 20 years plus, you practice on. Obia, you to say, a Fidiano, a man, a how to be, no, be and queen, and my, and you know, you can say. Like I say, it's a kind of free mind. The minister information they have to about this they can school placement every man could have the but in Kusiho or we are there's another opportunity to say the school to do final validation based on results now based on consistent editing and I said they were in Sacramento and it was within 1 week and some finally the results now market school out collect my boy. I say no there to accommodate sure say and what the BM as how seem to case one system no I know address it. Then you know quite a bit money how they feel. There's also to say minutes on also can say be a say school now have advisory category A B school season. Government as a say it will be swing able to or my share the way category B category C schools so obviously the two most status. In terms of infrastructure, operational logistics, and teacher resource capacity, different app. So the Guama, Onkoda, Aofono, the village said, the Bia, over the school or Ghana, Biano, Aquanuku school, and India, Bina, Wachimota, and I plan to have the second. And the school's next category is category B, category C schools, on the social on the picture of my whole day, I don't have to the status of category E. Category E schools, and the assets. That is the climate in America. The young fire is saying, I'm going to say, the one of what you feel, the old one of bomb, when you are quite the sham more. But the only share, and woman about meeting my resources on that. Bomb, the intimate and is the upper of the culture of Marquis and how about pushing what is the name? That's advance of the and show. And they say, Mama, I want to know consequent discussion on Quran. Category A, B, and C or organization. In fact, the crowd sometimes say, even very schools now, the category, you have an announce here publicly. And schools won't go to 20 grand as well. In your to say, I teach a 4 1 the donor or the door entry. don't be the rural communities. No, then only recruitment. Or make sure say, academy. I should not complete that. No, I was not look at one. And yet, accommodation for my community. So, after that, I rule models about Ramomania or what I want to tell at the show. About the 2001. I said, yes, free left from a very business and transition. The best survive. They are small so from work at a store. Yes, not. What you call any business stakeholders engagement in I have family. It's me education standards. It's a very
da wase no wonchire mu pa asam no wachire mu ye ede amaye me no asese ebo apno mu so oje bre na one ye ekasaye Owura Raphael Kofi Gabson wono ene ye trofo panyi edema National Council of Parent Teachers Association ene no ekobosa enkomoi ye toso na yakọ Camp Trooper General edema Immigration Owura Samuel Pasentari Amedu na ene wono so ama commissioned officers ya omo ebe ye adwuma de ama Ghana Immigration Services afoforo kra omo kwaje ntete e wo sukuu mu no enipa be se oha ene aduonu enum 125 omo akwaba e de abasum num akyerɛkyerɛ omo so omo bai omo nye se de som ne tie na omo nimra so na afa adwuma no omba ye no omo fa ne die enye ne mboa ema bibia enso enkoyi.
Delighted to be here and have the singular honor as the reviewing officer of this parade as we graduate 125 officers made up of cadets intakes 18 and cadet intake 20 of the Ghana Immigration Service. I am impressed by the smart turnout and good display of zeals by these officers graduating, of which some are almost nearing retirement. I must say that this is a good performance that cannot go unnoticed. You have demonstrated that the tireless efforts of the commandant and his team have not been in vain. You really deserve another round of applause. We have gathered here this morning not on the account of 7 officers transitioning into senior corps, nor an elevation of rank, but to witness the conscientious efforts of strengthening our human resource base. Given the impact of what is happening around the world, it is important that as an immigration officer, we position ourselves and adopt a more innovative and robust approach to managing the effects of migration in the collective interest of Mother Ghana. Officers, I must indicate that as the Comptroller General of Immigration and with the kind support of the Honorable Minister for the Interior, we will continue to ensure development of the resource base of our noble institution to enhance our capacities. I have been informed and assured by the Commandant that the officer cadets have been given the requisite professional training during the period of stay.
Samuel Basentari Amedu wano na ya Camp Trooper General de my Immigration wano so de afutoi e de akwama immigration officers for kra omama makwaba e de aba omo dwumedie mu ene ya World Autism Day dwumedie mu and I'm so I see you are wano eda Evergreen Autism Center no wa nwoma so wo oforukro mensin wasante mantemu he ya Owura Godfred Aisen and so de atudwa se aban ne hwe na ne wono so autism mofra no ya no mo hwe mo no nipa no mo hwe mo no nipa dodo na eni tete ya wokwan a wo ne safo no betere nti aban ne hwe na ne ompe apomudi adwuma efo be mo tete ye efa autism ho no mo so bra no o maboa nipa o mo e wo sa tebia mo no
ye di anka beboa especially say anka anye kumase ha umbe bi wo the various regions no na anka omo asupport a training a teacher for because in Kolani bebre o kra omo hyedem omo a ye dey omo ko school no bebre o ho a omo ni support because they don't have the right intervention because yen hyeda ma training and ma in training usa teacher for no enti kakra bi na omo enya nchiche nchirechire enti oko school bi wo ho a Kolani bi wo ho a omo wo sa condition but obi anhwe omo but question I will be say early intervention send my colleague in the car early intervention is key into what I know odi be 9 months na untumi frɛ no na untumi enhwe w'anim near year no who say oh akola we no o frɛ no on this o Tambiano na or flapping in sao or Tambiano na or shed toys or form Tambiano na o no ordinance katakatana so I didn't know a science I will say Akolano is on the spectrum into I say we do hujuma on train Akolani in the 10 years and 15 years and sana what page that point.
Director any CEO Edema Evergreen Autism Center. You are Godfrey na isen na ene etene se no achi na wofobia omo so ema autism yi bi omo ko dwumade ya se ene Owia Kaseɛ bo eka
obi ya de kwa me no so the first one na go mama ko come me come but ever since me be ba me pin me sua ni ma bebre awofo from wo kra we no se bi omo nye suba ene omo nya ade anya omo ye hye se ne medi nkan si aka no omo accept omo with love and jide say no mo suntunti e wadi be baby akwan bebre dey amo muni mua bebre hye de me no kasa me bi wo awoma so to me aba ne papa locking because oni bi enti oja no ho kwa adwuma oja no ho locking and say what is akra na wo because a dan so dem ye dam tuniti papa ne jahwa na say be for na be ho no omre na koda akra enti me nkaso enti me nya hwe tu busa na be dey ama bebre dey ahye papa ne suwa na yesu say nyu obi ne tunu franco for bruno say government ne bam and some organizations be bam na community be boa kebe mo hye dem nyina ma wo fot me ayo ma pie ye do ma ba ncheche biase o matimi ahunu nyoma biase o me ebe no ni se ni se radio do e den ya e fa be gu fo atibi su be kono no otu we na inscom de na obro ba se e dunu su a inscom de na oba wo ho se ko be fa ko fridge mo ko yinsu what media dey be see wani na ho baba na akura we ye sam e bi wo fi wa na ye hu ba bia so no tie se be ko for electrician ama o so ama da kro ha akura na ko so a kire enti nkra we mo die o mo ye blessing yes Roma the government in some organization NGO for the beboma come support because we bro ho mo obi but we need more church community say na mbesi akran kala we say ama bebre de mo fa kwan a ensem for into sra bam so mo
ene ayeti ye eye awofo bia wo mo ema ewo autism bi ene mo so do mo nsam no atodwa nyeso omo yensuo mba nya me de bi chewa no wahwe omo ye no amoni akọ omo ho na afi aboa ama omo so ayeshira ede ama omo sami so na yegina na esma hodo esaka no fie de so mo so Owia Kaseɛ bo enwumre de no ye di esie na se no ye de madwaben wo bank se bra se ye shares na wo pa akonya wo ho a wo so benya shares ni bi na wato na so abaye bank face deposits ene afi obadache account ade bia opesa wo ye beboa loans na wo penso abo makache ombe ma obesu hu no eye ketua bi collateral asem bia enso eni fedwabe rural bank 0544745856 and answer 0271464327 and 0260970407 ya Bolivia Enterprise omo na di Future Life Smart Food aba edwama so enuane ahodo ni nyina wo fiber wo protein wo vitamins wo ade nipadua ne hia bia Future Life Smart Food nim ena wo benya tikopa bi ne di na mo ama nipadua no enye kama o macha kwan no omo ewo soft line alignment patase kwan ne so afromo ewo 0242878090 na 0246010150 na sene bi edemanu sumadwuma for ene aboafo kuku ajando ene afia kosu asomwa enso ewo ho MCR director the birthday girl extraordinary Owia Grace oba fefe ono na director Kasebo nyina ede amaye Simon ewo ho Buzi ewo ho no mafe Nelson enso ewo ho ni ene afe na ya wo nyina na ka ho bibuaye e ma Kasebo yetumi de be semfo yewra Asante yeboa Benedict midei ede adwoa nyako abronoma